to new update from the market's middleman. So by the time I'm making this update, Bitcoin is almost at its all-time high at $109,000. And yeah, I remember I posted about this on Saturday, April 12, especially after breaking above this inverted fair value gap after balancing the major weekly fair value gap over here. So it was more aggressive than I ever expected. Honestly, it was faster than I expected. But yeah, and it didn't give any kind of retracement, which makes this uh, price action appears to be very strong. And yeah, it just seems that Bitcoin is going to continue on going higher. I don't think it's going to reverse back down from here. Instead, it might consolidate a little bit at its all-time high, but then I think a continuation to the upside going into the summer is inevitable right now at these stages. So, what do we have for the altcoins and where the altcoins are right now? Let's check it out. So as usual, let's take a look to the bigger time frame and the bigger picture right now. I went into the crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. So this is all the money in the altcoins. And I made a video also mentioning the importance of this level over here just before, day before the Fed interest rate. And then the day of the federal interest rate had nothing, but then the next day we saw one of the biggest bullish candles that we ever seen um, lately, except this one, which was pure manipulation. But I think this move was a real volume in here, simply because it continued on going higher, and the fact that it didn't sweep these buy sides and fill out this daily fair value gap and going down harmonically like a correction instead of just going down like this as a reversal makes me believe more that we are set for higher levels, such as first level is this buy side balancing this daily fair value gap, which is aligning with an insane liquidity area over here. So I think there's more room to go to the upside. Of course, I'm not going to talk about testing this buy side and this previous all-time high, sorry, but let's keep this for time to tell us more and more about this. So far, I see that price had retraced lower, balanced this fair value gap. I was expecting also to balance this one, but it seems that price have different idea or different plan. So today, if this day closes above the high of Monday and Tuesday, okay, closing above the highs of Monday and Tuesday, then we are strongly bullish on the daily, and I think that the rally will continue from here. Unless we see something like this, a close back below today's low, I think it's gonna then sweep again the lows of this week, tap into this fair value gap, and just go higher. But I'm not sure if this is going to happen, the scenario of going down, because how things are looking, this price is looking really strong, and I think it will go up within the next few days. So where is VeChain right now? VeChain, we spoke about it after testing an inverted daily and H4 fair value gap over here, same structure, and this move was almost expected. However, right now also the same thing is happening where we're balancing this huge daily fair value gap, okay, tapping into an inverted and past inverted fair value gap, which was very important for price action. So I see that price had already dipped into this area first. Second, I also want to see that today closes above the high of Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, or at least the closing price of Sunday. And if I go into the lower time frame, the lower time frame suggests that we're creating a base over here, okay, where price is failing to create a new low, okay, and in fact right now it's about to create its first higher high after this high over here. So once we see like a move like this to the upside, let me clean that up a little bit. I want to see it run through this buy side over here or at this one, and testing it, I want to see a nice retracement, not a sharp reversal. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like this, but any push higher and the day closes above those two highs over here, and especially this high, then I expect a continuation to the upside, testing 0.0365, which is the next buy side liquidity. Now, according to Cardano, it did exactly what it did before, time after time, and you see how this level was really amazing, really very important. The 7-2 level, okay, on a daily closing basis over here, and it turned out to be an old inverted fair value gap, which respected and then also price swept enough liquidity at this level, and then it seems that it's going higher. So I need not more than closing above yesterday's high, and I think Cardano is extremely bullish. Quick look to the H4 time frame. I see it already created its first high. So you see price build the base, which would potentially be the first lower high, same as it did over here, and then it already broken this high. So it's also bullish on the H4, bullish on the daily, bullish on the H1 time frame. So we just need this close above Tuesday's high and we'll be good to go. So as long as price is above Tuesday's high, it closes like this, then I expect the continuation for Cardano to be to the upside in the following weeks. And there's a huge potential for Cardano. I think it's gonna definitely sweep this high over here and ultimately this high at 1.17. So yeah, it's a long journey. Patience is the name of the game. I don't think it's gonna happen overnight, but I think there's a huge potential right now to look into cryptocurrency. Last but not least, of course, I cannot make an update on the crypto market without talking about XRP. So these are mainly the three assets that I'm focusing on: VeChain, Cardano, and XRP. Of course, there's a lot of nice setups, okay, but they all repeat themselves and they are all similar in a way. So XRP, we see on the daily time frame, it finally balanced this daily fair value gap, the only fair value gap on the daily, aligning with this bearish inverted fair value gap, which worked perfectly, okay? Just enough to balance the daily fair value gap. And so far, same thing I want to see from XRP closing above, ideally above Sunday, Monday. Okay, above Sunday, Monday. For today, it's fine at least to see a close above Tuesday's high. And I think also worth noting this bearish fair value gap on the daily. So a push higher for XRP would invert this bearish fair value gap and continue going higher. I think XRP would follow Bitcoin in terms of the liquidity that's gonna come into XRP, and I think that testing the old all-time high for XRP is coming soon. You never know when things are shifting. Of course, manipulation can happen throughout the way. Those market can go parabolic, as I always mention, and anything can happen. XRP can crash lower, then move up. But the main thing is to always make sure you're not going to be liquidated on such moves. Always use stop loss in case you're investing in crypto for the long run and especially allocating on spot. This is really one of the best time that you can do so. So that was it for today. I'll keep you guys updated and let's enjoy the ride.